What is up, YouTube? It is DJ Domineer back again for another reaction video, and this time it's going to be something on a little new called ElectroBOOM Funny Compilation, requested by James Don. Let's cue the intro right now. Woo. Alright guys, I'm not going to bore you guys with a minute compilation of me ranting, so we're just going to get right into this.
Reduce the voltage to something like 1 volt because the resistance of the tongue is much smaller than the skin, and still if I short the power supply I get the same 150 amps.
This is already, I'm telling you, this guy may be a genius, but this right here, putting electricity on your tongue is already not smart, I can tell you that now.
Okay, you can see it still sparks. Let's try it out.
Are you trying to start a fire on your tongue? This is so dangerous.
What the f? I thought I set it to 1 volt.
Yeah, you didn't set it to 1 volt. You set it to 110.
Huge. Don't completely trust the gauges on your instruments and always double check them with a meter.
Hoping that at least the capacitors are
Or don't put it on your tongue.
not charged anymore. Let's try them out.
And you can see a tiny negative sign beside it. That means that that side needs to be connected to ground or negative. It's also beneficial to zap a bare board like this one and see what happens on the actual board.
That's your first mistake, soldering like that. I'm no expert in soldering, but guys, this is no way. This here is no way to solder anything ever. You put it in a vise and then you solder it that way, and you have an arc flash suit on.
Never hold the board you're zapping with your hand because the EST will jump to your body through the board.
Did he just say ESTG?
Always discharge a charge ball before touching it. Gun here simulates a human finger.
That's why you don't put electricity on your finger, because a foreign electrical current on your body will probably really hurt you.
Always be careful with your tool. What
You
right now I'm
think?
touching the wires and I can't
Wow, you should start a podcast.
even feel it
Electro
because the
Boom?
voltage is not high enough.
Guys, this man here is a mess.
Who's this? No, I'm not Steve. Wrong number. I can feel it.
Did he just answer a telemarketer? It's like, hello, this is Camille Biba Bob. Calling because you can remember their doorknobs. This is Camille Biba Bob. Calling because you need to make a payment on your doorknobs. My name is Camille Camo, and I'm Biba Bob. As you're going on the cob, you electro Mr. Krabs.
Electricity with my finger, so I'll put it in the water.
Why?
Nothing. Let's get close to the wires.
Already bad idea.
Nothing. Still nothing. Oh, I'm starting to feel it here. What is this? Oh, there's a cut on this finger and the electricity can go through it much easier. You know, the flesh under the skin is much more... Die. It's a simple device. It's a belt that you tie around your belly with a tiny device that senses your motion. As long as you move, you're okay. But if you stop for any reason, it'll zap you like a mother... You will move no matter what.
It'll act like a motherfucker.
Or else you will feel the pain.
You'll feel expensive pain. It's also the 1-year anniversary of the album yesterday.
The device may often false trigger to sharp objects and it cannot be caught. Including yourself. The device is
Guys, let's rewind that shit.
often false trigger to sharp objects and it cannot be caught. Including your...
Dude, that was fucking funny. That's last time, guys.
Including yourself.
Okay, that's it.
The device is very simple. It runs on 2 AA or AAA batteries and has 2 electrodes on the bottom and turns on with a switch. Now if you don't move, it senses... If you stop moving, it senses that and will shock you. Here.
It's like Jeffy's punishment. Close the door real quick. Is that a tennis racket filled with electricity?
In some nice packaging. With this revolutionary device, with the flick of a switch, you're ready to stay on Earth. I make this simple circuit and I'll plug it in. Now the circuit is hot and the voltage is on the... Something you must never forget is that some capacitors, like electrolytic ones, are polarized, and you must never connect them. Due to the shock and the pain, your body can react fast.
This guy keeps getting hurt.
Contract your leg muscles and make you jump.
How is this funny? Jesus Christ.
The wires at this end are tied together
That almost looked fake, but I couldn't tell.
to jump.
That almost looked fake, but I couldn't tell. Weird shit.
The wires at this end are tied together in pairs, as you can see, and each pair is attached to one of these cables, which we can plug them into the wall power plug.
That is not how you use an electric guitar. I'm no expert, but you don't... That is not how you use an electric guitar, but let's see what happens here.
Please join me for the first time to hear how it sounds. And 1, 2, 3, 4.
Worst studio session ever, guys.
It sounds. And 1, 2, 3, 4.
Wow, this beat... Ooh, yeah, this beat's fire. This is like a John Summit beat. No John Summit here.
It definitely made me sound like a rock star.
My life is a bender.
Although it feels more like an electric chair than a guitar. It is extremely dangerous to touch the 110 volt or 220 volt power lines. You can easily get killed. And believe me, nothing is worth touching a power line. Hi, replacing
Because there's 14,000 volts in it, and it can really kill you.
the light bulb is one of the simple things to do. The first
I didn't learn that in electrical class. I learned that from my my former neighbor who was an electrician for years and years and years.
thing you need to do is to remove the broken bulb.
I thought he was going to open a soda
First, you have to
bottle.
make sure that the bulb is not too hot. Sometimes when you use a lamp for a long period of time and it goes through a lot of temperature cycles and
Or it could just be LED and it's not as hot.
the screw part is rusted, when you try to unscrew it from the fixture,
This guy's an
the
idiot.
screw part can break off the glass part and gets stuck in the fixture. Just make sure you don't cut your fingers and take the
He touched the toaster that was in the wall. It's like that penny outlet TikTok challenge, pretty much, is what it reminds me of.
screw part out.
Yeah, see what I mean?
My
Can
finger.
someone-
Good thing the breaker opened. Don't just shove your finger in an electrical socket or fixture. Always make sure it's powered down or unplugged. And even then, always use a tool, not your finger.
Or don't stick your finger in there at all.
I broke the ball. Don't buy cheap bulbs and don't screw them too tight, otherwise they'll break. There's a switch.
Or just stop
I guess
screwing
I'll
with
have
it.
to redo. Well, the lamp is already out, so always use a tool to get the screw part out.
Always use a tool. Question. How many people does it take to unscrew a light bulb? Answer. 1, guys.
Unplug. Damn it. Unplug.
Don't use a tool. Please don't. Oh god, what's he gonna do here? Worst AAA agent ever.
The nuts can become quite stiff over time. Rather than using your hands and put pressure on your back, you can use your foot and put your weight on the driver, like this. These screws also get quite tight and need some good force to open. Oh my god,
I swear he's doing it on purpose at this point.
hit and released the jack accidentally and the car fell over. The wheel fell right on my shoe, but I was able to pull my foot out fast. Always make sure your jack is mounted safe and...
Injured player. He got away, thank God. Because I was just watching a football game today and there was a lot of injured players.
stable and
Go Birds, by the way.
secure before working on your car. Remove the lens, you'll see the giant flash capacitor back here. Ow! Piece of shit! Apparently the flash capacitor is holding around 300 volts of charge in it, and it can hurt a lot if you touch it, so I recommend you discharge this capacitor before working on the camera.
Yeah, you think?
Remember what goes where and store them nicely to avoid
Why didn't you do
use.
that before?
Now let's take a
Working
look
on
at
it.
the camera here. Mounted on the tail by piercing into the tail.
Is this supposed to be a tutorial that I'm reacting to?
Well, never pierce a hole towards your body. This tail is a little bit tough, so I'm going to drill a hole into it. Do not drill, pierce, cut, or do anything dangerous towards your body parts. And if...
Why doesn't this guy use a vice like normal people?
A quick research shows that different transformers work best at different frequencies. This transformer is obviously not made for the 60 Hz city power frequency.
Huh? Okay, he's doing it on purpose.
Actually a voltage? Well, my theory was right. Obviously there is high voltage on the secondary, but the problem is that that high voltage pulse period is so short it can't create an... Wow, this is wild. You can see how it farts.
Oh shit!
It's a strange pain. It's as if somebody is stabbing your finger, but the blade, it doesn't stop there. It keeps going through your veins until it reaches your heart.
That is actually more of an expensive pain.
This guy...
Not even an expensive pain, it's like the worst pain you could ever feel. And it's scary too. I'd be petrified if I was making these videos with this guy.
gap is quite wide. Let me measure it for you.
I'd be petrified if I was this dude.
Well, you know, metal is generally conductive, and electrons always find the easiest path to travel. So I would never touch any high voltage with a 100-mile long metal pole. Let's look at the spark some
Yeah,
more.
right. That might as well be my next sample for the next song or some shit. Or just could be a sample for someone's song in general. Listen to this, guys.
Spark some more.
That's like a sample right there. Download that on Splice. It's like I'm just fucking with you guys.
The anti-pay.
Did this guy just literally put his face up to fire? Man, it's crazy.
I just tightened his nuts here. Always be careful not to short your car battery. Now I connected these cables to the battery, and all I want to do is to pass them under. If I can just pass these cables under the table here.
That had to hurt. That had to hurt.
Always finish your wiring before connecting to your power supply. Now instead I'm
Why
going to
didn't you
use
do
my
that?
power limited supply up here that will drive this pump that's made of this DC brushed motor here. And it's gonna run fluid into the cylinder back here that will move it around. Now I enable the power supply.
Jesus Christ.
Always double check your connections. Hi, I'm done growing my Movember. My mustache
No shave November.
made me look like a few people. One of them scared me every morning.
Who does the same? Who also does this when they wake up in the morning? First thing they do, splash water on your face to get the gook out of your eyes and off your mouth.
The funny thing is that we Iranians fought this guy for 8.5 years, and now I'm him. The second guy that I look like is actually okay. I want to break free! I should remove this mustache before I die from some STD falls out. I assume they use something like a taser that zaps the hair dead, and for that purpose I'm gonna use my homemade taser. Okay, let's
Homemade taser.
the hair dead, and for that purpose I'm gonna use my homemade taser.
Imagine if you saw a policeman with that, with this thing right here, guys.
Okay, let's try it out. Here, I'd like to thank
That's gonna leave a mark.
all women for going through so much pain to make themselves more appealing to us, and I want to say it's not necessary. Some of us may like you for your looks, but at the end of the day, it's your health and attitude that makes us love you. And it's much less.
Yes, it's what's on the inside. It's what's on the inside that counts. Not out.
Try that. I have my lighter fuel here and my fire extinguisher in case anything goes wrong. Just put a dab of this on my mustache. And I'm ready to go.
Oh God. Why not just get a razor like a normal person? What the fuck? What? Shit!
This is a air horn. Make yourself familiar with your tools. Let's charge the car battery with these. Now I have to wait till...
How has that car battery not been destroyed yet?
Remember, to charge the battery with another, you have to connect the positive to positive and negative to negative. Otherwise, you'll short the battery.
And how did you not do that yet?
There you go. You saw what happened. Always make sure the wire gauge can handle the high current. Here that acts like a trigger. So here we go.
Oh.
Well, it's always wise to aim away from yourself. So let's try again. Put the bullet in.
This reminds me of how like a gun would be fired.
Wow! Let's try it a couple more times.
It's like a shooting range. That's cool. That's pretty cool, not gonna lie.
Some waveforms. I connected the probe to my output lines, connected my circuit to this power bar, and now I will turn the power bar on. My fuse just blew up. Something I realized the hard way is that the ground of the probe is actually shorted to the earth of the power plug through the scope. So what? We are safe now. As you can see on the scope, the output voltage is around 170 volts. Now I like to use my 100 ohm resistor and connect it to the output to see how the waveform changes.
Oh God. Yep. Called it.
A quick calculation shows having 170 volt across 100 ohm generates 300 watts of power. It's like having a 300 watt lamp within your fingers. It burns your skin very quickly. Now I use pliers to hold the resistor.
Why didn't you do that all along? And they're insulated pliers too. Now I'm no expert, but if you have insulated tools versus if you have non-insulated tools, you're more likely to survive.
See, the output voltage drops, but with very small ripples because there is a lot of filtering. Wow, I was holding that. I let it cool down for a while and the ceramic cortex,
It's almost finished now. Just need another piece of wire. When doing something else, always put the iron down. Okay, let's power it up and see what happens.
Or just use insulated pliers.
Oh, what did I do?
Unplug it, please. Ow.
What the f*** did you do?
I'm fine, thanks.
Idiots.
What?
Every battery has a positive and a negative contact. Never connect them backwards. Oh, and if your circuit starts smoking, unplug it quickly before anything else. I can even play music from it. Always turn a...
Wow, guys, this song's fire. And I don't even like rock music. I like EDM and rap music.
Always turn a song
The song was so fire. It did that.
on with it.
Are you brushing your teeth with that? Nah, I'm good. Huh?
Kind of works. It's a little bit weak though. Nothing that a strong drill battery can take care of. This baby is 12 volts compared to the two AA's that are 3 volts total. It's gonna give it the oomph that it needs. Okay, let's power it up.
Oh God.
I better do this one quickly.
I wouldn't put that in my mouth if I were you.
Never do stupid that you will regret for the rest of your life.
Oh shit!
It's a very simple
I told you not to put that in your mouth.
and yet effective circuit. Let's turn it on.
They're getting crazier and crazier.
A polarized capacitor mounted backwards is always a big no-no. effective current. Everyone has access to the AC voltage, which is the 120 volt AC city power line. To measure the current through my body, I connect my current meter to the AC line and hold the probe on one side.
Automatically, I can tell this is going to end badly.
And only touch one of the AC lines. That was a pretty bad idea. I couldn't keep steady enough to read the stupid meter. And I could have died. See, the thing is that the current meter is like a short circuit and it's not gonna isolate your body against high voltage. Well, rather than checking my own body capacitance, let's start with a real capacitor.
Why don't you just ask a doctor to put a stethoscope and go, beep, beep, beep.
At least real capacitors can't get electrocuted.
Yeah, right, it can't get electrocuted.
Well, using 120 volt AC is a pretty bad idea. Don't mess with AC power. Video. Now this string is one that I couldn't fix with the lighter spark.
AC or DC? DC is basically direct kill.
And doesn't turn on either. Let's try the taser now. You should know better not to get too close to high voltage. Let me zap this one.
You should know better. You should have made a podcast on that.
There is no easy way to use this damn taser.
Don't hurt yourselves. If you really want to know what electricity pain feels like, then take a 9 volt or less battery and put it on your tongue and you'll know. As I mentioned in my other video, a power supply like this one that can generate 70 amps doesn't necessarily hurt you at all if the voltage is set very low. Observe. No! Who the hell set this to 25 volts? And increase the frequency all the way to 60 hertz.
Holy shit.
I shock my ass sitting on these live wires. Always clean up the lab, otherwise something will bite you in the ass.
Imagine this being in the movie The Incredibles when Dash put the tack on the teacher's chair. What was that teacher's name? Hold on, let me look something up. Okay, guys. Bernie Bernard Kropp, also known as Teacher or simply Bernie, is a supporting character in The Incredibles. Full name Bernie Bernard Kropp, played by Lou Romano. Occupation, stressed out 5th grade teacher. This is probably the best Disney movie I've ever seen in my entire life. Alright guys, enough of me ranting. Let's finish out this video. I just had to go off and digress there.
Live wires. Always clean up the lab, otherwise something will bite you in the ass.
How not to solder, guys. I don't know how to solder, but this sure ain't it.
Okay, finally, let's power it up.
What is this guy doing?
It's done. Let's turn it
Other than getting electrocuted, what is this guy really doing in these videos? His videos.
on and see how it looks like. The LED lights can be very intense and directional, so don't look into them directly as it may hurt.
Alright guys, that was the end of the reaction video. If you guys like this type of content, you want to see more of this type of content, as usual, be sure to like, share, and comment. And, like, share, and comment to disperse it out throughout the algorithm and YouTube. And, per the norm, DJ Domineer signing off.